Does anyone ever have trouble trying to find a place to film in your house? I feel like it's a constant struggle with me. Take a look at what I'm sitting on right now. Like, oh boy. I'm really short, so I got some pillows. All right, what's up everybody? My name is Brienne. You could also call me Owlco. And in this video today, we're gonna talk about crested geckos again. Yay! So I have a crested gecko, his name is Warlord. I haven't had him too much on my channel just because he does not like the camera very much, and I can talk about that later in another video. In this video, I wanna go over the pros of having a crested gecko, just in case if you wanna get a crested gecko for your first pet or for a reptile in general, keep watching. Okay, so one of my first pros for having a crested gecko is the amount of food that's available for you for your pet. So there's a whole bunch of different types of brands out there. One of the most popular ones are Pangea and Repashy for crested geckos, and what this is a powdered food supplement that you mix with water into kind of like a baby food paste, and you give it to your crested gecko. A lot of breeders use it, a lot of gecko owners use it, and this is scientifically formulated for your crested gecko from scientists who have taken a look at that crested gecko species in the wild and determined what they're eating, what kind of insects and nutrients that these geckos are getting, and they put that all into powder form for you. Now, you can also feed your crested gecko some live insects, more so soft body insects, just because they don't really have that high heat source to able to digest any of the hard shell insects. So crickets and roaches are, I believe, are one of the most commonly used soft body staple insects, but you can also use soft body worms as well. So hornworms, I believe there's butterworms, there are silkworms that are very popular as well that are very soft bodied, but you don't want to feed your crested gecko that much of it just because those worms are high in fat content. Alright, so my second pro into having crested geckos is that their cage does not take that much to set up. Crested geckos need an 18 by 18 by 24 in height cage, and you need to give that cage a lot of foliage, which means a lot of branches and hiding spots for your crested gecko, and then you want to keep that crested gecko cage humid enough for them because they do come from a tropical island, New Caledonia, I believe. All you need is a substrate, some tram moss or any type of statement moss just to keep that cage nice and humid. If you do want to have a little bit more difficult setup, you could always set up a bioactive enclosure, but that bioactive enclosure is going to, I guess, make you do less work in the long run. So the cages are fairly simple and easy to set up. There's not much to it. They don't need any special lighting. You can use a low outputtage of a UVB light because all reptiles, I believe, can benefit from that. Although crested geckos, they are... So crested geckos are not nocturnal, they're not dural, they're this. I can't pronounce it. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it because I'm just gonna butcher it. So try your best, you too, but you can pronounce it yourself. Anyways, yeah, so crested geckos, they are active during the dusk and the dawn periods of the day. So you do not need any special lighting for them, like UVBs or anything, unless you really wanna add that into them, but they're not really gonna utilize it as much as a chameleon would. So another really good pro about crested geckos is that they're readily available almost at any pet store. Many breeders sell them, and they come in a variety of morphs. So what that means is that there's different colorations and patterns that you can get for your crested gecko. My crested gecko, I honestly don't know the morph of him. He just looks like a normal crested gecko. He was handed down, my boyfriend got him, and then we just combined pet families when we moved in together. So as far as I know, he's a normal crested gecko morph, but there's some really, really cool ones out there. I'll post a few pictures right now. All right, so my fourth pro about crested geckos, I just hit the camera. Anyways, my fourth pro about having crested geckos is that they live a long and hardy life. So crested geckos are known to live anywhere between an average of 15 to 20 years, with some actually living till 30 years in the wild. But on an average, your crested gecko, if you get it, is gonna live anywhere between 15 to 20 years, depending on how good the care you give it. Yeah! Alright, and so my fifth and final pro that I'm going to mention in this video today about having a crested gecko is that most crested geckos are quite docile and friendly. So what that means is that there's not a lot of crested geckos out there that are going to attack you and want to bite you. Unlike chameleons, they're aggressive. There's a lot of crested geckos that do not mind being handled if you handle them the right way, but as always with any reptile, you want to check your stressors. So if you are stressing out your crested gecko, you don't want that to be a factor of it switching its light switch from nice and happy to mean and angry. But anyways guys, that's it for today's video. If you did like it, please give it a good old thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more crested gecko videos and chameleon and other reptile videos that I may post in the future. And as always, if you do have any other pros about owning crested geckos, please put them in the comment section below, and stay tuned because I am gonna make a cons video as well for our crested geckos if you want to watch that too. Anyways, until next time, bye!